Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'm gonna show you how you can literally, absolutely destroy Amius on rotation 4. One shot the boss. One shot, one kill. Now, I just want to mention before we dive into it, this is not an actual guide on the boss. It's not a general guide. It's more of a showcase of power, and I like showcasing crazy things every now and then on the channel. You guys know me. I like seeing crazy, Krakenish things, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of you guys like to see it as well, so that's what I want to share with you in today's video. Currently, how you probably noticed, I am not on my account. I am on Ziggy's account, a good buddy of mine, so big shout out to him for putting the arsenal to our disposal, the weapons to our disposals to have fun. Basically, there are two champions in the game that can get this job done. One of them is only available in the first rotation, and this one is available on the 4th, maybe on the 5th. I'm not 100% sure. Now, we do have a new additional area in the Great Hall for the Cursed City, which is going to absolutely help all our progression in the Cursed City. On my account as well, the very first thing I've done, I leveled up the ignore defense all the way to level 8. I'm working on the last 2 levels right now, and he has it at level 9. So basically, we can ignore 18% of the target's defense from here. I'll be very honest with you guys before we dive into the rest. It makes such a massive difference to have this on. Like, all the rest of the stages felt so much better. 100% no regrets for throwing all my medals into it, you know. How I mentioned two champions. One of them is Fushan, available for rotation 1. And if you guys saw how this works, you're not using the A3, you're not using the A2. Only with the basic skill. He has a chance of placing an extra hit. Now, if we are talking about the other option, is of course the Nutcracker. Georgid the Breaker. So, this one, again, you're not using the A2. You're not using the A3. All you're using is the A1. Attacks one enemy 2 times. 30% chance of repeating the attack. Now that 30% chance can proc back to back to back to back to back till the RNG is basically not in your favor anymore. The one thing to keep in mind with Georgid, guys, because he is the main key to unlock the one-shot strategy in rotation 4, okay? He has this passive too. Has a 50% chance for this champion to ignore 50% of the target's defense for each hit placed by this champion's skills. Now, this is amazing, but this brings you a lot of RNG. So, if you want to avoid having all this crazy RNG, you will require to have a 6-star crushing rank. It's not a necessity like with Fushan, because if you have a Savage set, you already ignore 25% of the target's defense from there. You have this one from here. Then you have the Helm Smasher, which again is a 50-50 chance. You have a Cruel set, maybe on him, and bang, that takes you to 100% when everything procs. But then it's so much RNG with this, because for each hit is another checkup on the 50% chance for this, for the Helm Smasher. So you're basically constantly going to be in a cycle of RNG with A1, 30% chance here, 50% chance here, 50% on the masteries, and you're wasting a lot of time. Now, I've done this straight after reset. Actually, last night was like 1 a.m. my time, and I've recorded my runs. I wanted to make sure I'm putting him as the record holder for this rotation on the Cursed City, guys, before anyone else gets to copy the teams and stuff like this and take shorter turns, basically. Now, I'm quickly going to show you how this actually looks. I've made quite a few different variations. I probably spent around 1 hour in total to do all the stages and get to the boss, and I would say probably 45 to 50 minutes just on Amius, okay? And I made a few adjustments, and this was the winning team in the end. I honestly didn't realize that I have a Rhonda available, you know, so I had to bring her in once I noticed that. She has Cruelty. Cruelty helps a little bit because when you have Cruelty and at 6-star and with a triple hitter, you're going to drop that defense a little bit, right? Especially if her passive procs in when Raiho is using the skill the very first time. is actually going to be even more game-changing. But this is a RNG train. You don't need to have 2 Georgids. Only one is enough. You don't even need to have a 6-star Crushing Grand, but it will take you more tries to get this done. And personally, I was like, yeah, 45 minutes of my life on this was enough, you know? I don't want more than that. Then we have Raiho, we have Lady Mikage, ally attack, and increase attack. Game-changing for this strategy. So let me just quickly show you how this works, and I'm going to start with the very first variation of the team. So I used Thunderbolt, I used Baron as the lead for increased attack, and how you probably may notice, this was failing. Now, was not failing because was not able to kill the boss, was not able to reach the turn count that I wanted on this boss. So let me just quickly walk you through it. Basically, we only want to take 2 moves, okay? So you have Raiho using the A2, putting the debuffs on the boss. Lady Mikage, ally attack, game over. If that works, it's fine. If not, retry it. So how you notice the damage is pretty underwhelming right there. You want to see a bit more than that. And initially, I tried with them because I haven't noticed that I had, how I mentioned, Ronda available, you know? She has a good attack aura 2 to replace the one from Baron. And look at that. You see? Almost took him down. So in the end, I decided, let me just do the 3-turn count and get him done like that, in 3 turns. But we will be able to get it done even lower, okay? And the rewards are definitely not necessarily worth the effort, unless you are getting lucky and you're summoning a mythical champion. Baron, 200k damage, less than 200k, plus 4, underwhelming. Georgid, 3.2 million damage. Raiho, 171k. Lady Mikage, almost no damage, and you have Thunderbolt with 582k. So basically, that's how the team works, guys. But I'm going to show you the builds on the heroes in just a second, because you kind of like want to get an idea of what you have in there. Raiho doesn't need to be plus 4. You don't need a blessing on Raiho either, because the boss will never take a turn. So you just want to make sure Raiho lands the defense down and the weaken. That's all you need from Raiho. That's why we are using her in here. Lady Mikage is a must if you want to get this done in such a low turn count, because she will give you increased attack and ally attack. And the ally attack is what kills the boss, not the actual turn of a Georgid or a Baron or a Thunderbolt. You know, you don't wanna use them like that. But let me just show you the winning run with Ronda, where we actually went in and changed a bit the team. I actually brought in a second Georgid instead of Thunderbolt, just in case if he might have better RNG with that A1, you know, and the damage drops to like 50%, more or less, you know, and this helps quite a bit having Ronda in here, because we're actually dropping, you see, there we go, the passive proc in, we're dropping the cruelty a bit, dropping the defense, ally attack, and there we go. Now, of course, this was not the winning round either, because we haven't dropped in enough damage with the team. I actually don't even think that Ronda's passive procced. Bang! Bang! There you go. One shot, Amius the Lunar Archon. One shot, 1 kill, baby. 5 seconds, 2 turn counts, 1 ally attack, and that's all that you need. That is actually a pretty disgusting strategy, guys, to get this done. Now, of course, this Georgid has an amazing RNG, because look at the damage. 3.5 million damage. Ronda, 196,000. Of course, that cruelty helped to reduce the defense on the boss, which overall helped to reduce the RNG that we're getting with the Georgids. The second Georgid, 462,000. Of course, the RNG on him probably was not as good, or even if was going to be as good, the positioning of the champions matter quite a bit, because I actually have them positioned in the following way for a specific reason. Check this out. So I have, of course, Ronda, which will ally attack first. Okay, so the way counterattack, ally attack works is not about their speed, it's about their positioning. Position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5. So that's the order that they are going to follow, basically. So Ronda will go in with the A1, drop the cruelty. You have the big boy Georgid going in straight after in the ally attack. So if he has enough firepower to kill the boss, this Georgid right here won't get to deal as much damage anymore because the first one basically took all the damage. Now, one thing that I was thinking to do as well to reduce my RNG, but I wanted to save some gems, I was able to do this and put on a Raiho Bone Spear Soul Rip. That would basically drop the boss down when he has 20% HP. But of course, that will not be enough to kill the boss. But it might just do enough damage to kind of like compensate for the lack of what we had. The thing with Mikage, she does have Soul Rip, is not going to be efficient. The reason for it, not efficient for what we're doing, is because she buffs and then she attacks. And then the rest of the team attacks. So she attacks before the rest. So it's not following the pattern of the positioning here anymore for Lady Mikage. But if I would have had that, it would have been a viable option. If you probably noticed on the very first round with Turvold, the Soul Rip actually proc because Turvold was positioned right here instead of Raiho. So that's basically how this team works, guys. And just so you can see it, best teams, global ranking, we have Ziggy right here with 2 turns with the team. Then we have somebody else that reached 5 turns, and probably, if he is going to try enough, he's going to reach 2 turns as well. Now, he's not going to steal my 2 turns from here because I've done it first, you know. So he's gonna keep Ziggy at the top as number 1, unless somebody makes it in 1 turn, which I highly doubt it. Weaken is going to be very important because that increases your damage, so you will need to place it on the enemy. And there are quite a few different teams. Like I have my other clanmate right here that managed to do it with two Mikages, no Georgid, Turvold, triple ally attack, and he got 6 turns. Very, very impressive, actually. This is very, very solid to see it as well as a different option. No Georgid, 6 turns is still 6 turns, right? Very, very impressive, actually. And yeah, a lot of Georgids will be here, and probably will be a few more in the next few days. Personally, on my account, I went straight for Soul Cross this rotation. I'm almost done with it. I have like 2 more stages left in Soul Cross, and after I can call it a day and leave that on the side. But I have the test server, so I'll be doing a different guide on how to defeat Amius on this rotation with what we have available here without using all these OP champions, and see where we're getting with that, you know. But that's the team right here. Let me just quickly show you the builds that I have on them, guys, in case if you are curious. So this is one of the Georgids right here. And Masteries, I haven't even took the defense or support. You want to have Helm Smasher. You want to have Methodical. Without Methodical, you will be losing a lot of damage, you know. So this can actually be pretty helpful. Ruthless Ambush. Yes, it would be nice to have Single Out. 100%, no doubt. The only thing is, you kind of want to have Heart of Glory, and you want to have Ruthless Ambush. So it's going to be pretty hard to get to it from here, you know. So we missed on this one, but it's not a problem. We still managed to take the boss down. You don't need Cycle of Violence. And yeah, Helm Smasher is important, but again, this brings in a lot of RNG. So let me just quickly show you the total stats on this Georgid, guys, together with the area of the Cursed series. So you see, we already ignored 18% of the defense from here. And the total stats we have, 9,586 attack, 280 speed. Doesn't really matter the speed because you just use the ally attack. Full crit rate, 359 crit damage. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that, how I mentioned, you don't need to have him empowered. You don't need to have the Crushing Grand. And actually, my Georgid, not empowered, at 4 stars, is pretty similar in stats with this one. It's not too far off from this Georgid right here. And yes, I will try to get it done on my account as well. Probably not to reach 2 turns because I don't know if I'll have the patience for it. But definitely gonna go and try for 3, 4, 5 turns, you know. And I'm gonna do that in the next few days, just to show you guys that you will be able to to do it without a crushing rend. So keep an eye on that best teams section if you guys wanna get convinced by it. It's not a necessity, you know. Then we have Raiho Bone Spear. She's built for the Sand Devil's Necropolis, right? I don't really care about anything on her. Just have the speed, have the accuracy, be the fastest in the team, and job done. Masteries, total stats don't matter as long as she has the highest speed and enough accuracy to debuff the boss, you know. And all that matters on her is basically this: defense down, weaken. The rest of the debuffs don't matter either, you know. And she has War Master. Yeah, proccing a War Master might help you, you know. Maybe you're that close to kill the boss and you don't do it because you haven't procced War Master. Keep that in mind. Rhonda. So Rhonda, she is built on Savage as well. Helm Smasher S tier 6. The main thing with Rhonda, guys, the stats don't matter. What matters with her is to have her in the very first position, have the attack aura, get the attack on the team, and have the cruelty. But you can do it without a Rhonda. You can do it without the cruelty. This will just minimize the RNG, basically. That's the whole thing with it. And at 6 star, decreases target's defense by 4% per hit. Up to 40 for champions, up to 20 for bosses. So you're basically dropping 12% of the defense on Amius when you're just using the ally attack before Georgid goes. So that is absolutely game-changing. The second Georgid is built on Savage as well. These are his total stats right here. 8,000 attack, 206 speed, full crit rate, 298 crit damage. I do have Crushing Rend at 1 star, and the reason for it is because this will ignore some extra defense based on the boss's level. So the boss has 350 levels, right? So we are getting 7% ignore defense from there, and that is very, very helpful, especially when the passive decides not to proc, you know. So that's why I went for it. It's for the first hit each round. If we're not getting him down in the first round, we're gonna restart the run. And the exact same masteries on this one as well. But that's how you can one-shot Amius, guys. How I mentioned, this was more of a showcase, showing you what is possible to do with Georgid versus this boss. Pretty damn crazy that you can actually smack him like this. And Lady Mikage, actually, I forgot to show you the stats on her. She's 311 speed, and you don't need nothing else. She just needs to be the second fastest champion after Raiho, because you want to have the ally attack before anything else after Raiho is putting the debuffs. But guys, that was all for this video. I definitely had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found it entertaining and you enjoy seeing bosses getting slapped left and right. Big shout out to Ziggy again. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.